Hello and welcome back to another review here on OTR Reviews, and today we've got a special film with this. That's not right. There we go, that's more like it. This is a Focus ST, of course a car I've come to know very, very well, but this is the brand new ST edition from Ford, and today I'm going to be showing you around this car, what's different about it to the standard ST, again a car I've come to know very well, and what makes it just so special. So let's dive straight into the review. First, when you sit these two cars together, you don't see too much of a difference, of course, except the bright blue paint, and that's because most of the changes on the ST edition are actually underneath the skin. However, there are some subtle changes out the front, and as I said, let's start with the paint. This colour is Azura Blue, which is very similar and gives a bit of a nod to the Mark III RS Nitrous Blue, but this is solid, not metallic, which gives it a bit more depth, and it really is starting to grow on me. I wasn't sure just at first, but if I'm honest, it really suits the Mark IV. The next thing to notice on the ST edition is the black colour coding, which comes on the grille, the wing mirrors, the roof, spoiler and the diffuser. Now for me personally, I think the diffuser should have stayed like the standard ST in the Azura Blue to match the body colour. However, it really isn't too much of a big deal. The whole car sits together really nicely, especially with the gloss black on the front grills. Combined with the special edition badges with the black outline instead of the chrome, this car really does look special. And with that, I come on to the first big difference of the ST edition, which are these 19-inch alloy wheels in gloss black, which Ford dub the Ford Performance wheels, and they claim that these save 10% in unsprung weight per corner of the car, and to be fair, with the rest of the gloss black elements on it, they really do match in really nicely. Now by far the biggest change on the ST edition is the addition of the KW Automotive adjustable coilovers, which don't come on the standard car. Now to adjust these you need this weapon, shall we call it, and you're also going to need to remove the wheels to adjust them as well. And what Ford done, they fitted a kind of a bracket in between them just to help protect the coilovers on transport, but these can be removed. Now the other thing that's adjustable on the ST edition, which makes the ST edition a more track focused car, are the bump damping, which has 12 preset settings, and the rebound, which has 16, and it's all adjusted by this little plastic key, which I think it's quite easy to lose, but you simply slot it into the gap under the wheel once the wheel's off, twist it to the desired settings, and off you go. Now in the handbook you do get a bit of paperwork which tells you how to set the car up for certain tracks, so a GP track. It's even got information how to best set the ST edition up for the Nürburgring. Now that's got to tell you that Ford are aiming this car thoroughly at people who are taking this out on track. Now all of these adjustable parts and the instructions are kept in this little fancy little Ford Performance part box which comes with the car. But that brings me to another thought, that they've tried to design this car to be better on track, and yet they haven't given it any different rubber. It still has the same Pirelli Pilot Sport 4S's that come on the standard car. Now does that mean the car's not going to be quite as good in the corners? Well, with the suspension setup I would imagine that it's going to be a lot better, especially with the bump and the rebound settings adjusted. The ride height itself as well help lower the centre of gravity of the car, and it will definitely go around the corners faster. But the overall grip levels compared to the tyres are going to be the same as the standard ST. Now from delivery you'll notice that the STE is lower than the standard car, and that is again thanks to the coilovers, and it does sit 10mm lower than the standard car, but as mentioned previously it does have 20mm more left in it. It also has a 50% higher spring rate as well due to the stiffer suspension. Now of course all this fancy suspension trickery is great for the ST edition when it hits a track, but what about everyday driving? Well, the ST edition you can expect to be slightly bumpier than the standard ST, and it's been compared to driving the standard car in racetrack mode everywhere, which I know from experience is quite rough. However, it's not what I'd call uncomfortable, but the ST edition could potentially be a little bit more uncomfortable to drive if the road surfaces aren't quite what you'd imagine they would be with the road tax you pay on the cars. Now, the second thing to know on the ST edition inside the car is the digital dash, which you're seeing here, which is standard on all of the ST editions. As compared to the standard cars, they're not all got them. And as we come back, you'll notice the blue stitching spread around the cabin, which looks absolutely glorious, and even up on the piping on the seats. And it just matches the outside absolutely beautifully. I really do think it gives this interior just a little bit more depth to the standard car. Another difference you'll find inside is down here where the wireless charging mat is, and you have the 2 USB sockets in comparison to the one that you find in the standard car. And additionally to that, also the lock-in mechanism has been moved from here to here, and the mirror adjustment dial is changed slightly as well. But that's nothing that was really concerning, because this is kind of the Ford style that's going to be returning in the next generation of cars. Now, under the bonnet of the ST edition, we find the same 2.3 turbocharged power unit that you find in the standard ST. And why change it if it's not broken? Because this engine is just absolutely sublime. It's derived from the Mark III RS engine, the same as the standard car, and it just sings beautifully and produces a good 276 horsepower. Now, this can be enhanced by Dream Science and Mount Tune to around 330 off of stage 1, and Mount Tune releasing the 365 map shortly. If you want to see my review on the Dream Science map, click the link in the top corner now. But for now, let's take the ST edition for a drive and see how it really feels in real world conditions. Now, the first thing that you notice when driving the ST edition is the same as I've been saying all along, and it is a little bit of a slightly rougher ride. I wouldn't say it's much noticeable difference to driving the normal ST in sport mode. And again, that's just because the coilovers on the car, and even if you blip this into sport or race mode, it stays roughly the same as he's not making those small adjustments. But with the coilovers, you are going to be able to corner a lot faster than you would in the standard car, and that again is thanks to the coilovers. But I think personally Ford could have gone with a different tyre choice just to heighten that grip a little bit more, with this being a more track orientated car. And the colour definitely gets a lot of looks, but I wouldn't call it uncomfortable, which surprises me, because through different groups I've been a part of, I've said that it's not going to be something you could live with daily, but I'm actually very surprised that it is as smooth as it is, because I could quite happily cruise around day to day in a car with these coilovers on. Now, just to show you how the digital dashboard works, it works pretty much as a standard dashboard, but it's all a digital setup. But it is really nice in this very relaxing blue, and it kind of gives me more information than the analog one did. Now, when I want to change modes, if I go into sport mode, you get this glorious red and grey setup as well, and it just helps me feel that the car is just a little bit more special. And when I hit it again and go into race mode, I get a nice checkered flag appear on the back of my screen, which just makes it feel really nice, because that's something that is definitely lacking on the standard car. You simply change mode and all it does is just stiffen everything up a bit, and you get a bit more response. But I really do like it. Don't get me wrong, it is very gimmicky. However, you know me, I like a good gimmick. So overall, a very nice car. However, this brings me to probably the touchiest point in the ST edition, which is, why haven't Ford done more to make it special? I mean, apart from the wheels, the coilovers and the paint, there is very little that sets it aside from that. I mean, Ford could have gone, they could have put the splitter from the Puma ST on it. They could have upgraded the infotainment system like they're putting on the facelifted Mark IV. They could have put a big brake kit on it, a low line kit. They could have worked with Dream Science or Mount Tune to give it more power. It just seems like they haven't put too much in it to make it feel truly special. And that's not me knocking the car or anybody who's bought one. It's me knocking Ford for being lazy, because they really have not taken enough time to look at this car and go, what can we do to make it a truly special edition? So the ST edition is a limited edition car. It will only run 500 vehicles. Now, 200 of those will go to the EU market and 300 will come to the UK market. And of those 300, from the last availability that we found, There was approximately 4 to 5 left in the country, and that took a long time to find. These cars have sold like absolute hotcakes, and that again is in part due to the semiconductor crisis and not being able to get hold of standard STs for a decent price because they've just gone up so much. Why pay £32,000 for a second-hand car when you can pay £36,000 for the ST Edition? Now, a lot of people dub this car as very expensive and a bit of a waste of money. However, at £36,000, you have to think about it. A standard ST will set you back between £33,000 and £37,000 if you fully load it with the Orange Fury paintwork. And even the new one, the 4.5, fully loaded with the mean green paintwork, will set you back £38,000 for a Focus ST. At that point, I think you need your head looking at when you could buy an RS for the same money. But as for the ST Edition, it's not really a rip-off because it sits in the same sort of pricing bracket as the 4 ST, the pre-facelift with which it is. It really is pretty good value for money. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Ford Focus ST Edition in this blazing blue glory on this pretty gloomy day, if I'm honest. The car itself I absolutely love, but I do still feel Ford have been a little bit lazy in development. I don't blame anyone who's bought one because the majority of the market have come from the old Mark IVs. Hell, I nearly bought 2 of them. But at the end of the day, when all is said and done, you can really make this car individual once you start messing around with the suspension settings and find something that works for you. And then, and only then, I think you can start to call it a limited special edition. Ford really could have done more, but if I'm honest, it's still an absolutely lovely car. If you want to know more about this car, drop me a message. If you've liked the video today, drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. I have got some more videos coming soon, including a Kia Sportage, Transit Custom Hybrid, and in the next few weeks, I have a Mustang Mach-E coming to the channel as well, and I'm very much looking forward to that. But from today, the Ford Focus ST Edition, thank you very much to its owner, Lucas Gambatti, for bringing it up to me today, and we'll see you next time on OTR Reviews. Till then, take care.